and today, and this evening, by my time, we are watching another knockout match between Terminus playing as the Hunters and Strider656 playing as Dracula. Now, for the knockout, for the knockout phase, Strider got the higher seeding in the league, so he got first pick. So typically Strider tends to when I knowing Strider as I do, I find that a little bit odd. Since he typically tends to go with Hunters first, simply to get it over with. If no other reason that I suppose since it's time to get serious, he's in get serious mode since it's knockout phase and not simply league anymore. I suppose that may mean that he's simply going. He's doing this. So that since he has a slightly better Dracula record than Hunter record. I think. One way or another, these two are fighting. Fighting through the first round of the knockout phase to actually go up against for the privilege of being able to go up against me in the quarterfinals. The draw or rather the seedings just so happened where I could end up having to face Strider yet again for the third time. He and I met in two of the league phases. The first one and the last one. So it'll be personally, if for no other reason than to face a new opponent, I would prefer Terminus to win. It's really nothing all that it's nothing too personal, but it's not like I have a vendetta against Strider. When we faced, he and I have always battled more or less even. But regardless, that's kind of beside the point. Now let the week one supply train begin. So Terminus, but a little more about Terminus is I haven't seen many of his games. But Terminus at the beginning of the tournament was a newcomer. So Terminus has definitely been learning a lot and fast. To have made it into the knockout phase. Okay, steak for Mina first day. Alright. Very well. For any who watch this live, I'm sorry that I won't be all that active in responding to chat, but especially since I have no co-commentator today, it is a little bit difficult for me to deal with certain things with having only one laptop while keeping the music up and running and such. Excuse me. It is starting to get later in the day, and well, it's been a long day for me. Feel upon the yawning. That may come up from time to time. Anyone? Let's just take a peek, see if anyone's in the chat. No. Well, if you are there, you haven't said hello yet. Please. But Let's... Mystic research. Interesting. A very interesting thing to see early on, to be sure. Whoops. Whoa, a lot of Dracula events. 5 Dracula events over the first 2 days. In which case that mystic research will be all the more welcome. I wonder, has Terminus... how quickly will Terminus end up using that? Will they use it sooner rather than wait? Will they use it too soon and possibly have his safe night supplies be shuffled up by a hoax? Yeah, I wonder if Terminus has had the opportunity to learn that particular lesson yet. I don't know. That will be interesting. The fact that he's hesitating with Van Helsing means that he's definitely considering... Definitely, yeah, he's fetching mystic research now. Be careful, Terminus. You don't want to use that too soon. Okay, gave me a chartered carriage. Alright, alright. So, knowing Strider as I do, as he and I have had to face each other a lot, and not just in this one. Not just in this tournament. We've played against each other many times. I think that, knowing Strider as I do, at a guess this will be... I think this may well be an illy. He does tend to start off with a vampire early. What? Dark Hall? Alright, that's... yeah, Strider does do that sometimes, like, to using Dark Hall as one extra, like, space where newspaper reports won't have any effect. I personally don't like it. There are several others who don't, but... One of the problems with Dark Hall is that, like, in the event that they have early newspaper, so to speak, and get the Dawn of Dusk effect, this is for one thing, one fewer encounter they have to deal with. 2, it's and that means fewer obstacles on the way to getting there. Like less opportunity to place bats and saboteurs along the way, and so on. And in addition, like, if they don't find it because you did it, great. But they also wouldn't have found it in that case if you had simply continued moving. I just don't really see the real benefit to it, personally. Oh, Renfield. Hmm. Renfield. Just say hello. Doesn't. I have a live stream up if you want. And, could use Cocon. If you want, I could use Cocon. Okay, rumor a token. Yeah, but like the one benefit there is it makes the timing of the immediate function of newspaper reports a little bit trickier to nail right then and there. Goodness, so many Drac events. Oh, hello, Scotsword. Geo. And Scotsword, if you're gonna stay up and watch this, you want to hop into Voice Channel 3 with me? yeah, Terminus commentating on how many Dracula he's running into. What's this? RAM internet hiccup, sorry. What was that? Okay, local rumors. I see. So, discarding holy bullets and picking up. Yeah, I suppose it's logical that Scots would want to play peekaboo with these guys. After all, whoever wins the best of 3 between these two go on to face me, and then after that, if they manage to overcome me, will, on the assumption Scotsword makes it into the semifinals as well, be Scotsword's semifinalist opponent. So I suppose it makes sense that he would want to just spy on them a little bit, get to know their ways. He'll be thinking about whether Van Helsing should play Mystic Research yet. I mean, I think that since he played it down a rumor token, I suppose it may be justified enough to do it. Darkness returns. Oh boy. Better make sure he doesn't get a hooks off with that in the discard pile. As Sensationless Press is not that big a deal. That's one of the weakest Drac events, I think, by general consensus. Okay, Ill Presence. I mean, well, unless it's Barcelona, there aren't any Spain shenanigans going on. So, feed next? Goodness. I'm just not sure if I like this Strider. This is... Early on as Dracula, you, in my opinion, you want to be building as much trail as possible, give them as much to keep them busy. But now... What are you doing? He's kind of putting all of his eggs in one basket in a certain sense, possibly two baskets in the event this is in the case that this isn't a high card. But I kind of doubt that it's not a high card at this point. With how he's playing, I'm assuming that this is that he's just staying in one location so that any scouts he draws are actually unlikely to find him. Is this an Ireland start? I suppose that is one merit to playing in this way. He is maintaining the charade that it's possible that he's up there. Just keeps playing, Terminus. Don't stop now. And you now have 10 Drac events in the discard pile, and you have 3 more Hunter events on bottom. So, before there's any more risk of that. Oh boy. Another problem with this method, with Strider's method here, is that even if this matures, it'll reveal since he hasn't laid down much trail, he will still be at the very least very close to wherever that is. So as a result, it will be like they won't have too much of a hard time tracking him down once, even if the information comes by that thing maturing, they won't have that hard a time figuring out where he is right now. That's the thing that I really don't like about this method. I would just be placing the first one, possibly hiding there to protect it if you really must if you really must go with a vampire right away, which I'm of the type where I prefer not to. Rufus Smith, interesting. Okay. I likely would have ended up searching, trying to, probably poking at Ireland. Okay. One thing I am a bit worried about is, does Terminus have all the white ones yet? How's his horse economy going? I mean, they only have 5 tickets between, all of them. Could they have all the white ones? I mean, they could, in theory. But he'd have to have gotten extremely lucky. I'm seeing things I don't especially like from both of them. In truth, yeah. I just don't get this. Hmm. Just keep at it. Just keep at it, Terminus. Hmm. Hmm. Ooh. Okay. I suppose that makes a sound around sentence. Assuming it's Ireland for now. As a just in case type thing. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, because tomorrow, if it is at Galway, and not at Dublin, which honestly I would expect it to be at Dublin, not Galway. Oh, well, now we get to see, I suppose. Because if he's sending Sur there, presumably he'll at least spend one scout up there. Ah, so he is not up in Ireland in the first place. He also checked out Frankfurt, was that? So now that's an excellent weather, like semi-wasted. I suppose just I understand why he did it, but in the end it's just a waste because he's not there. It's a shame. It is a shame. I will say that it it is definitely a shame in that we don't have a Jonathan Harker in play. That and also a shame they didn't have any newspaper. This has already been a very odd game, as this is not the type of opening you typically see. Since I expect that that's a hide card, I think that Strider is definitely going to mature that and claim his. I'm assuming 7 points. I seriously doubt he'd lead off with a new vampire. Well, Unless he simply had no other vamp. Rifle on the stake. Well, the thing is, due to the when the local rumors and evil presence went off, he could still be up here. He could have started at Manchester, and then, because the first couple of days was just spent filtering through a bunch of drag events, then gone up here, Darkhold, hide, feed, and now he's going back down. In which case, Stuart's excellent weather would not have been a waste. Oh? Well, apparently that's not the case. But in the event that this is not a hide, which I kind of doubt, Dracula is at most 3 spaces away from his starting location. So when this matures, that will give the hunters a good amount of information on where he can and can't be. It's generally very bold to go for this type of thing. I mean, what is it? On the one hand, you could definitely say it is. On the other hand, I can see some merits to this Ireland charade. In the event I were the hunter player in this case, I would never commit an excellent weather to it unless I knew he was there. If it matures, it matures. Amsterdam. Alright. So then, he's somewhere in this area. I am pretty sure that it's only a wolf form's distance away from Amsterdam. But that, admittedly, is like this arc. There's an arc of possible locations. There. So I would probably begin by just scanning Germany. Now that you know at least the general vicinity of where he is. On the one hand, well, it's nice to block off Zurich. On the other hand, evil presence. Oh, nice. Nice one. So that means he's... Alright, so that means he's on one of these 5 locations, right? Well, 6 actually, because there's Marseille. So, But the thing is, if he did indeed hide, he can't have gotten as far as Marseille yet. Chartered carriage, yeah, Ooh, but is that leaving the east too exposed, as he has not used wolf form yet? That's a tricky one. He may be overcommitting into the west here, using that. Okay. Going to scan so as to rule out possibility of Geneva. So if he did not hide, he could be sitting in Munich right now. If he did hide, then he can only be in as far as Nuremberg. Nuremberg, Geneva. Which, okay, so he didn't feel his presence at Geneva or Milan. Well, I mean, he certainly couldn't have been to Milan, with how, even if he hadn't hidden, not without going to Zurich at least. I figure that Dracula wolf form now. All of these locations, beautiful wolf form spots. I think that now the hunt is overcommitted into the west a little. Now he's just gonna slip into the east. Yeah, it's logical to wolf form. Due to the evil presence. But they do have a clue now. That's worth something. I personally think that it's going to be Nuremberg, and then he's now at Zagreb or Vienna. Or possibly even Venice. He might go down to the boot while they're busy with the northern part of the map. There's a lot of different things he could do. I mean, goodness, if he is at Nuremberg, I mean, wherever he wolf formed from, that was next to Godalming. Okay, it was Strasbourg. Okay, so that's better. That's better for the hunters than Nuremberg would have been, as that means he's still relatively close-ish to them. So wolf form from Strasbourg. Where would I go there? If I had to guess, I think that he'll be at Nantes. Reasons I'll explain later. Okay. Dracula gets another point. That implies that Godalming has a stake, of course, but which will silence the rumor token. Cologne, Frankfurt, Strasbourg, Brussels, Cologne, Brussels, Strasbourg, something like, I don't know. Yeah, now he moves into Bordeaux the moment Seward's out. Potentially. At least. So I would either... Since since you don't want me jumping onto Drac alone, I would actually go to Gladaming. And yes, there's a vampire there, but then I would scan France, see if he's in that area. This does risk another point, but you have a lot of time before Fury of Dracula kicks in, and at this point you kind of just gotta risk it. Nice knife. I mean, like always has a knife, but or to play it like that. I think I might do a punch next. Try to finish it off. Apparently he was thinking along the same lines. Strength again. And did escape. Okay. Yeah, I'm issuing a stake so they can deal with it that way. Shame though it'll be... Hey, at the very least he denied him another point. Which means he can still let one vampire mature. As long as it's not rumored. Dangerous as that would be. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's only 12 left in there. So it's actually nearly a 4-to-1 ratio. A 1-in-4 ratio. Slightly under. A 1-in-4 ratio of Dracula to Hunter events. I would scan now instead of staking. Stake it tomorrow because now he can move out of France if he is in France. Okay, so I would definitely check Nant next. Oh. Critical horse trade or something? I mean, one way or another, they have to get moving. I mean, I suppose they do have time, but okay, so it was Brussels, and then either Paris or Cologne to Strasbourg. Makes me wonder if he's hanging at Le Havre. Although, why wolf form to Le Havre? Why not just walk there? there are probably reasons. Ugh. Well, that's quite annoying for the hunters. I imagine that me was going up there to either do a trade or scan. If it's simply an item trade, then Van Helsing can deal with it, but... Oh wait, so actually, since it was a place before Brussels, it's Cologne, so therefore Van Helsing can address Cologne. Trading. Yeah, and this is looking good for Strider. I mean, to an extent. Excuse me. Well, there are lots of different directions Dracula could have gone, but as long as they have solid horse economy, they should be able to outpace him as long as they can figure out which direction he went. Okay, where to? Being pushed into Cologne with a reckless vampire. Oh dear. This could be bad. I mean, Van Helsing traded something to Mina, a new item, to make up for the stake. But this could be tough to simply survive. I mean, how many events do they have? One, so overall 7 unknown ones. I mean, great strength could be around, so okay. I'm not trying like the dodge opening for a night fight here, because this night fight with Mina, because you know that the vampire zone is certainly gonna go for. And you should know at least that the vampire zone is certainly gonna go for a bite to kill. Strength, yep. Doing strength to destroy the knife. Now, if Van Helsing gave you a Heavenly Host, I would just take the gamble and play that now, because chances are the vampire is now going to do a plotting to get rid of the obstacle of the to get rid of the potential obstacle of the dodge. Yep, and oh dear. I mean, she does still have one item we don't know of that Van Helsing gave her. Is it possible that's the second knife or something? I mean, the problem is, even if it is, so long as if the vampire has 2 fangs, then she's dead. I mean, for that matter, if the vampire even has 2 claws, it doesn't have to be bite. should have done that last turn. So that's, especially since that's a reckless ambush. That's in fact game right there and then. Since not only is it a death, but it's a bite point and a reckless ambush point. Wow. Very fast game. GG well played. GG well played. Very impressive. Very impressive work by Strider to pull off something like that. We'll see how the flip match goes. As of yet, that has not yet been scheduled, so I don't know when that will be. But yeah, you'll see. That would have been in day 7? That would have been day 7. But in any event, thanks for watching, folks. That was very close. Not very close. That was very quick. I meant to say. He would have used newspaper if he had it, man. Yeah, that was a tough one for Terminus. But thank you. Let's just hope that he fares better on the other side. But